What's up, guys? So today we'll be discussing about Nepal in February 2025, what you should be expecting in terms of weather, road condition, the places that you should be visiting, what is the clothing that you need to be carrying, and overall what is the budget that you need to have while traveling to Nepal in February 2025. Now keep in mind that February is still a winter month in Nepal. So the temperature in the daytime will range from anywhere between 5 degrees to 20 degrees depending on where you are. In places like Kathmandu, which are much warmer than the rest, the temperature will be anywhere between 10 degrees to 20, while in places like Pokhara, Chitwan, Namchi Bazar, which are at higher altitudes, and Mok forest cover, the temperature will range from anywhere between 5 to 10 degrees in the daytime and then gradually increase. The night temperature will be anywhere between 5 to -5, again depending on where you are. Keep in mind, the higher you get in Nepal, the colder it will get because it is still winter. But February is a great time to be traveling to Nepal because it's during the month of February that the weather is clear, the skies are clear, there's no possibility of rain, and most of all, it is a very good time since it is off season. There are very few tourists that are in Nepal, so every place you go to will be very limited in terms of crowd, be it the cafes, the hotels, even the tourist attractions, and even the treks that you embark on will not have a lot of crowd, since February is, I would say, the peak off-season month in Nepal. It is also a very good time to be traveling for people who are on a really tight budget, because it's during the month of February that you will get the best deals when you're traveling to Nepal in terms of flight and even hotel accommodations. Now keep in mind, the places that you need to be visiting in Nepal without a doubt are Pokhara, Chitwan and Kathmandu by default. If you're someone who wants to visit Lumbini, keep in mind that Lumbini is a great place to visit for a day trip, but it is still under development. Most of the temples are already built up, but the tourist circuit is still under construction. It will take them a little bit of time. I would say another 3 to 4 years for them to complete and get to where they want. Lumbini has a very good spiritual experience, but it lacks the overall vibe that you get in the rest of the tourist places in Nepal. Chitwan National Park is definitely a must visit in February. It's a great experience. Taking the Jeep Safari is a must. You will definitely get to see the one-horned rhino in the month of February. Keep in mind that Chitwan is best done on your return from Pokhara, because then it cuts down the brutal journey from Kathmandu to Pokhara. Kathmandu to Pokhara journey is a back-breaking journey because the roads are just not made. There is no roadway between. There is a roadway, but the highway is unpaved. So when you're traveling, you're going to be driving through a dusty, muddy road. The best way to go about it is to book a AC tourist bus. These AC tourist buses can be booked with travel agents locally or via your hotel owner. There are two buses that leave, one in the morning at 7 a.m. and one in the evening at 7 p.m. Take the morning one, because the evening one, even though you feel that it will be better since you'll save a night, but you'll not end up getting any sleep because the journey is simply outrageously bad. You'll just end up breaking your back with the kind of horrible journey that you end up having. So my personal suggestion is do the morning journey and be prepared for a bumpy ride for a long stretch of time. Just before you book your bus, just check out the flights, because there's always a good deal on flights in the month of February. Yeti Airlines will give you flights as low as even 2,000 INR, which is roughly around 3,500 NPR. You can even get it lower, and if you get a good deal, just take the flight, because it will save you the horrible back-breaking journey which you will experience when you're doing the roadways, because trust me, there are no roads between Pokhara to Kathmandu, no well-paved roads. The roads are just bumpy and it's a nightmare. Now when it comes to Pokhara, plenty of places to visit in Pokhara. You need a couple of days minimum to explore and experience Pokhara properly to the fullest. Pokhara is the kind of place that the longer you stay, the more it will sink into you. It's the kind of place that will also leave you with a very good vibe in your mind and soul. The best part about Pokhara is that every place within the city is walking distance. It has a great nightlife experience. There's a Ferris wheel, there's a lake, there is plenty of restaurants and cafes, very good shopping options, and overall it's just a happy place to be in. The difference between Pokhara and Kathmandu is that Pokhara is well spread out while Kathmandu is very congested when it comes to the difference between the two places. Kathmandu is the kind of place that you expect from a typical capital city, while Pokhara is the kind of place which is a tourist capital city, I would say, which has plenty of walking space and overall fresh air, a lake by its side. And just make sure when you're staying at Pokhara, you book a place which gives you an overview of the lake, because that's the best experience that you can have. When it comes to Chitwan National Park, just make sure that you also book your hotel accommodations in advance. Plenty of homestays and guest houses in and around Chitwan, and all of them will help you with various activities to be done in the national park. The Jeep Safari is something that we would personally recommend because it's a very good experience. You leave in the morning by 6:30 and you return back by around 12:31. You'll also get a guide in the Jeep along with other tourists. A total of 10 to 11 travelers will be there in the vehicle, and that's a very good experience for someone who's looking to get a budget experience into the forest without having to break the bank. There's also an elephant safari, but it's a little bit costlier and you need to book that in advance. Now keep in mind that Chitwan requires a permit which has to be done, and the Chitwan permit can be done by your homestay or your guest house owner. So when you're doing a permit, remember the permit is valid only for a day. So whatever activities you're trying to do, try to club it into the same day. Otherwise, you'll have to take multiple permits. Now, when it comes to network, cell phone network, the best cell phone network provider is Ncell. You'll get 4G network all over. It's really economical, and you can get it from the airport or you can get it from any vendor in Kathmandu or Pokhara. You can also get the recharge done locally. The best thing about Ncell is the fact that the app is seamless. So once you download the app, they even give you 1 GB free data. So no matter where you're traveling in Nepal, you will have network with Ncell. Just make sure that it's recharged. Along with this, Wi-Fi is easily available at every coffee shop and even dhaba in Nepal. Nepal is very Wi-Fi oriented country, so you wouldn't really struggle. But if you're someone who always wants to be connected to your family and friends and for your work purpose, I would recommend taking an Ncell SIM. All you need to do is have a passport size photograph along with your passport, and you'll get the SIM card activated in, I would say, like 5 minutes. Even an eSIM option is possible. Just ask them at the counter for an eSIM and they'll get it done for you. Now remember, a very important thing when you're traveling to Nepal is that your clothing needs to be perfect, because it's going to be cold in the nights. The daytime is going to be warm. If I wouldn't say very warm, but it can get warm in Kathmandu. If you're someone who likes shopping, Kathmandu and Pokhara are the places that you will fall for, because they have so many good options for shopping that you will be blown away. And when it comes to first copy and kind of stuff which if you're into first copy products, Kathmandu is the kind of place, because you'll get first copy shoes from Adidas to even North Face hiking gear. You name it, you'll find all kinds of mountaineering and adventure gear in Kathmandu and Pokhara. Just make sure that you're bargaining well and you're checking the product before you buy it, because sometimes you might buy it and it will not end up being as good as what it looks in the shop because you bought it in a hurry. Now also, another good thing that you should look for to buy in Nepal is hemp stuff, which is THC free, and this hemp products come from bags. They are even jackets, kurtas, you name it, and they have it. These products are easily available all over Kathmandu and Pokhara. Just make sure you buy something in hemp as a souvenir. When it comes to money exchanges, they are all over Nepal, and you'll get a very good exchange rate if you carry USD or Euro, the Indian currency. It's very difficult to get a conversion of 1.5 or 1.6. They'll always try to cut you a lower deal, giving various reasons. Keep in mind that Indian debit cards and credit cards do not work in Nepal. So when you're traveling to Nepal, make sure that you have enough of cash on your trip. For a 1 week trip, I would recommend carrying at least 30 to 40,000 in cash. The reason being, if the money is extra, you can always carry it back home. If you fall short, you do not need to worry because you have enough. And also a very vital point is that in Nepal, only 100 rupee notes are accepted. All other denominations are not accepted. They'll create a big fuss if you carry a 500 rupee note because they're worried about it being fake. So now this is all that we have to share with you for Nepal in February. If you have any queries, leave a comment in the comment section and we'll be more than happy to help. We also have a sample blueprint in our description. You can click on it and get all the details to our next trip to Nepal. Till our next video, stay safe, stay happy, stay blessed.